Welcome back, guys and girls, for another episode. This is the true episode 5, as the comment or the description section of episode 4 and episode 4.5 from my camera phone, or from the phone, told you. Episode 4 somehow in my computer got deleted. I don't know how that, or in my computer got deleted. I don't know how it happened, but it got deleted and I couldn't put it up. So the last episode was episode 4, even though I said it was episode 5. The episode from my phone, episode 4.5. Sorry guys, I'm having a lot of trouble talking today. This is episode 5, the true episode 5 of Ty Wheaton's Road Back to Sullivan University. It is the 11th of August. I am now 2.5 weeks in to my job, with the time frame that I gave myself of about a year, maybe a little bit more. If I do 52 weeks as my year, I have 49.5 weeks left of working at the chicken farm, which seems like a lot, but I've got 2.5 weeks down, and it's just, I'm going to keep pushing through, and I'm going to keep doing what I need to do to get back to school and graduate. Like, I talked to my dad today, and I told him the worst thing about being here, the worst thing about being home, is not having anything to do. It's work and home. That's all I have right now, for me. And yes, lots of rings. I'm starting to wear my rings again. I've told a couple people, I've kind of changed the way that I dress and the way that I talk, the way that my hair looks, the way the amount of jewelry I wear. I'm kind of trying to change the person that I am, from the inside, from the outside in. I'm trying to force myself to change because up till now it hasn't worked. What I've been doing hasn't worked. I've gone through bouts, or little spurts of depression. I have anxiety, just as bad as my mother does. I have a lot of things that make life very unpleasant, but I try to counteract that with positivity, and I try to be as positive as I can, but I don't always do that, and that seems to be when I get into my slumps of not wanting to go anywhere, not wanting to do anything, not wanting my life to change, just kind of being in the slump of not caring. But like I said, I have gone through, it was more so in high school, when I was bullied for being a big guy. I was bullied for being fat, honestly. And now all the pictures I see of me back then, and even pictures I see of myself now, because I'm almost all the way back to my heaviest I've ever been, which was 280. I'm almost all the way back there, and it kills me, because before I went to school, I decided I was gonna cut weight, and I was gonna, live a healthier life. I was gonna be, I was gonna make myself better from the outside in, and I did. For the longest time, I walked around. By the time I got down there, I walked around at 218, 220, and I was so proud of that. And now, being almost back up to the weight I was at before, I'm at about 265 right now. And I can blame it all day on stress and the lifestyle I lived down there, in the fact that all I did was work and go to school and eat, and I didn't ever work out, but a lot of that falls on me, and I see that, and that hurts me more than anything, is that I'm doing it to myself. Here soon, I'm probably going to try to get back down to where I was and maybe surpass it, which honestly I would love to do. I would love to get down to 211 and a half. Might be a reason for that, might not be. But we'll take it one step at a time and see if I can actually get my ass in gear and get down there, let alone do something with that. So I've been working pretty heavily for the past. I mean, since I've worked there, I've been working a lot, but I've been working. I've been trying to work a lot harder because I'm that guy who is very goal oriented. I don't like staying in one position or one place for too long. Both like physically and like in my career or my job, I don't like being in the same place for too long, because then I feel like I get complacent and I don't care as much. Whereas if I'm always trying to improve, and then eventually I get to the point where I can look back and say, wow, look at all this progress that I've made in this, what to me feels like a short period of time, then that's a kind of reward for me. I'm trying to do that at work. I'm trying to pick up my speed on working a scale. I'm trying to learn all of the jobs in the area that I'm at. And it is, but it isn't working. It seems like the harder I try, the more mistakes happen that aren't really in my control. I don't want to say they're not my fault, because I don't know enough about the job to say they're not my fault, but it just doesn't seem like it's in my control to when these things happen. I'll give you an example. Last Friday, my last period day in a green coat. They give you a green coat your first 2 weeks because you're green, you're new, and it tells people, hey, I don't know exactly what I'm doing on the machine I'm on or working with people I'm working with, and it kind of enables supervisors, leads, and mentors to come over and help and get you trained to where you need to be. It was my last day in a green coat, and I hadn't really had any problems up till then. I mean, I had minor issues with, like, I'd work in the label maker and it wouldn't want to feed. And then somebody else would come and do it and they'd be like, boom, done. And it would work perfectly. So that was just a learning experience. But when it came down to my last day, about, I think it was like 2, maybe 3 hours into the day, I go and I'm working and I go to print a label and the label won't print. So I tried a couple more times, won't print. I go to try to feed blank labels, it won't work. So I go to my supervisor, tell him, hey, this is what's up. He said, okay. Hands me another printer, says swap them out, bring me that one, I'll look at it, and then if the one I give you does the same thing, bring it back and tell me. And that's what I did, and it didn't work, and so it shut down the scale I was on so they could try to look at it. So they moved me to another no price scale, the only other no price scale they had. And then within like the last hour of the day, I was feeling good again, I was getting my work done. Within the last hour of work, my my scale broke again. Because they had decided, okay, we're going to try something. We're going to take the label, or we're going to take the printer from the scale you're on, put it on the scale you were on, since we know that one's working. Put it on the scale you were on, and then we'll put the one from the scale you were working on the one you are working on. They switched them out, and neither of them worked for about 45 minutes. So we got down to like the last 15 minutes of work, and I hadn't put a box through in 45 minutes, and my numbers just went straight down. I think I was running, at one point last week, me and the person I was on the scale with hit 120 cases a minute, or 120 cases an hour. And I was like, wow, that's insane. That's 2 cases a minute. And then it went down. I think we ended up getting like an 87 or a 90 that day for like our overall average. Sorry, I'm tired. And then for the last 15 minutes, they still kind of like messed around with the computers, and that whole last hour I did nothing. I kind of followed around and tried to figure out what was wrong and if I could help, and if they fixed it, see what was wrong with it. If it happens again, I know how to fix it, and I don't have to go to them. I can just fix it and not have to deal with it. Another aspect of me wanting to learn everything and me wanting to be, me being goal oriented with that is, I want to be able to do things on my own and not have to rely on you. Like right now, I know how to change the maximum and minimum weight for a box that I'm working with in case something is too light or too heavy, even though I've done it right. Sometimes you just have way bigger chicken than you think, and you can't short somebody how much they ordered, but it's too much for the scale, so you have to go in and change it. I know how to do that, but I don't know the password to change over to like the administrator, I guess, for the program, and 2, I don't want to do it and then have them come over and look at it and go, well, this isn't what it was, and have me say, yeah, well, I changed it because I needed to for a box, and then have it break down into being, well, you might have done something wrong and you might have screwed this up or whatever, and then make it this whole big deal when all I could have done was just gone and asked my supervisor or my mentor and just been like, hey, can you change this? And so, but then today, it's Tuesday, they sent me over this week to work on the strapper, which you take the cases that everybody has weighed, or they've weighed the product, and then sorry guys, I'm really tired. I've done a lot today. The strapper takes these, that's what they're called. They're called straps, but it's like these plastic strip, and wraps it around the box and melts 2 pieces together, and it holds it so you can carry it and you can move it, and it holds the box together and it makes it more structurally sound. Well, I was on there, and 2 times while I was working on the strapper, something went wrong with it. And I'm guessing it had something to do with how I had done it, or there's this little foot pedal, and if you press it like too many times, or if you press it too fast, or you press it too slow, or whatever it is, or the box isn't the right way or whatever, it screws it up. And the 2 times that I screwed it up, it was my fault, and I own up to that. And it sucks, because I'm always afraid that every mistake I'm gonna make, I'm going to get called in the office and John's going to be like, yeah, we don't need you anymore, and get out. That comes from the anxiety that I have from my mom. Even though I'm the new guy, my mom passed that down to me, that level of anxiety, to where every mistake I make, I feel like is going to end me. It could be, I didn't label a box. One box out of a whole day. I could have ran 3,000 cases by myself, single-handedly, that day. I was on a fucking roll. Did more than the entire department together by myself. And I didn't put the letters on one box. And they bring it over and they show me and they're like, what is this? And that's all they ask, is just, what is this box? And you tell them and they're like, okay. And then you write it on the side and then they take it and they put it in the, but it doesn't matter. Like, they'll ask me and I'll be like, fuck. And my anxiety just takes over. That's how bad my anxiety is. And it sucks. But I'm making it through work, and it's work. It's not fun for me. And I mean, I'm doing what I have to do to get back to school, like my dad said. After I told him, like, like I had said, is it sucks not having anything to do. It sucks not being at school, because I would do nothing for a day and I'd be like, wow, I feel like shit for not doing anything. And then the next day my friends would be like, hey, come watch movies, play video games, sit down and talk or watch TV or eat with us. And I feel like I did something and I'll feel good. I'll feel accomplished for that day. And now, like I said, it's just work and home. And my dad's like, well, not to sound like a smartass or anything, but he says, it's just driving you to get back to school and do what you love. And it really is. It really is driving me to be better and get back to school and finish what I started. And finish what I love to do. I get paid Friday. $280 of my paycheck is going to my dad. I'm gonna put tires on his car, because he said if I put new tires on the car, then he doesn't have a problem with me using it to go places, do things when I ask to go do things, if he doesn't have anything planned, until I get a car. And that doesn't bother me. And then it'll be Saturday, because I have to work Saturday. But Saturday night, I'm going with my brother, my buddy, my Wonder Twin, my Julius from Remember the Titans, for any of you who get that reference. I am Superman, and he is Julius from Remember the Titans. My buddy Johnny, we're gonna go see Straight Outta Compton, the NWA movie, because I think it looks really cool. Ian had asked me to go see it with him when it came out, but obviously since I'm not there, I still want to go see it. So I asked my buddy Johnny, because he said we need to hang out before he leaves, and Saturday night I'm gonna go see that with him. Other than that, as of right now, everything's just going towards a car. After the car, everything's going to school. Maybe something that I want to buy when it comes up, but as of right now, my money is focused on a car, and after that, everything's focused on school. So 2.5 weeks down, 49.5 weeks to go. That's just a relative number right now, until I get the more accurate, more realistic number, and then literally it just becomes a countdown. And I told my dad, once I make it to a year, I get a week paid vacation. And I told him my plan is basically go in and give them my 2 weeks, like my 2-week notice, and say, hey, in 2 weeks I'm gone, And then my last week, I'm going to take a vacation, and I'll get paid for it. And that last week will actually probably be the week that I move back down to Louisville. So I'll be getting paid to move back and go to school, which is actually pretty cool if you think about it. Kind of a little reward for myself. That will be the money that I make, or that'll be the money for like spending when I get down there. So I'll have about $1,100 in my bank account, just like I did the last time I came, or last time I went down there. I had $1,100 in my bank account when I started down there, and that's what I had to live on. And now I will be starting exactly the same place I was, except a lot more of my college is going to be paid for. So that's pretty much it. I know I think this is my longest video. We kind of went in depth a lot more than I was already planning on. And I mean, it didn't bother me, I know. But I just had a lot of stuff I needed to get off my chest. And I think this will be another way for me to do that. This will kind of be like a journal too. More of a public journal, I guess. Oh, one more quick thing. My dad and my aunt and my uncle and the plant supervisor, since my uncle works at the same place I do too, they know the plant supervisor, and the plant supervisor, my dad and my uncle and my aunt are all playing on a softball team together for the Prairie Heights alumni, the school that I graduated, their alumni softball tournament they have every year. And I went to their practice, and it felt really good to just throw the ball back and forth, play some catch, and then to get behind a bat and really just kind of let some of my frustrations out on that ball that I've been having. And it was a lot of fun, and I think I might go and practice with them every week and get some of that stuff, just let it air out. And but other than that, really, that's the end of it. There's nothing more. I got nothing else for you guys. Like I said, I know this is the longest video I've done, definitely at this point. This is the longest video I've ever done. I plan on not making them all this long, but I might. So there's that. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Try to get this as widespread as possible, just so, all of my friends can see that I'm okay and that I'm coming back. And then maybe the school will catch wind of it, and they'll watch it, and they'll see how determined I really am to get back, and they'll, take me a little more seriously when I get back there. But, okay, we are approaching the 25-minute mark, so I had better sign off, because I think this cuts me off at like half an hour. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your support. I love each and every one of you. I am gonna go take a shower because I smell like shit from the day that I have had. So, thank you guys. I will see you in episode 6 of Ty Wheaton's Road Back to Sullivan University. Thank you. You have just seen episode 5. Like, comment, subscribe. Do whatever you want. I will see you guys when I see you. And peace out.